What's happening? Hope y'all doing good. I hope y'all had a good Christmas and a great day today. I'm you know, I'm up. I'm just getting home actually, so I'm thinking about, doing some things and talking about what needs to be talked about at the particular moment. And one of those things is the quote unquote gender war. And why it keeps starting over and over again. And I'm gonna get the first part of it out of the way. Is first and foremost because it's lucrative, right? So that's the first thing. It's lucrative. What's up, Angela? So this keep seeing the gender war getting started over and over again because it's lucrative. Um, the other reason is because people want to be right. The men want to be right and the women want to be right. Just like the men want to make money and the women want to make money off of the gender war. The problem, the need to be right kind of exposes some of the the BS that's involved in these topics right now. Because some people could just put out information because they have so much information, and other people got to reach. And when you got to reach, it's because you really have nothing to work with. But that's another reason why the gender war keeps restarting, because some people are reaching to be right. And when they reach to be right, they got to go so far that it for one, it fits a stereotype, but two, it creates um, an echo chamber of BS. And when people get caught in that echo chamber, it's hard for some people to get out. You know, what, Patrick? What you talking about? Is it who that was happening? You know, so that's a whole nother thing going on right now. Here, what's up, Rastas? Melanated, what's popping? You know, that's dope. So here we have a situation. No, it's not over, MS, because people keep starting. Let me get to it. Like, here we have this situation where you're dealing with people who cannot be honest at a particular point. You know, I peeped in for a little bit of that. What's up, Android? I saw that. Taylor, what's going on? So I'm sitting there looking at this stuff, wondering to myself, like, if you can't be honest about this, then you're gonna keep this a war going. Because for in all honesty, the men feel like the gender war has been over because the women don't have good talking points, and we've debunked all of their narratives. But the women, I don't think they feel like it's a chance, and thus part of what I'm talking about is you got small groups who are very vocal because we are online. What's up, Derwin? And those small groups act like they speak for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that, Angela. So now the groups, they gotta win. They gotta win. They gotta win. And then what makes it worse is, and I hope some of the women are peeping this. You got a faction of women who are creating a female echo chamber, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Whether it's swirling, whether it's colorism, whether it's just feminism in itself, whether it's lesbianism, whatever it is, it's they gonna come together and somewhere dislike men. And it's kind of funny because what happens is, you know, there are talking points that men and women make. What's up, cut to the chase? That people take out into their lives, and they take it out on other people who are not even in these conversations. And then what winds up happening is those people gravitate to these spaces to find answers for what's been going on in these conversations. Now we got a problem. You know, what's up? Hold up. What's that? Android, I'm from Louisiana. I know that. you know, so this is where we at with it now. We're at a point where you got factions of people who just can't get out of it. And sometimes you can tell by the content, because sometimes people can't go outside of the content that is gender war related. Now when you get out of, when you get out of the gender war content, then it's all of a sudden a problem. Like, and I know this to be true because you have people who try it. Nice, what's happening? You have people who try it. They go from one subject to the next, and then what winds up happening is, if you're not talking about gender war topics, people are not checking you out. And analytics proves this. This is why I'm saying, why the gender war keeps going, because gender war stuff or things that can spark a gender war are the most salacious things. So now it's the norm. you know. So now we trying to play this game like, when is it gonna stop? It's probably not gonna stop, because not, if you notice, you hearing a younger generation taking up the mantle of the talking points and saying their experiences and whatnot. You know, they're saying their experiences, and they match this gender war. They match it. Now I'm going through this, and then sometimes the gender war gives people an excuse. You know, it wasn't the gender war when a person what happened between you and whatever person that hurt your feelings, but you used the talking points of the gender war videos, and it became your excuse to why this person didn't like you, or they didn't do right by you, or they didn't choose you. See, something went left at a particular point, and people don't want to say that. So now it's like, okay, we're gonna play this game. And I started thinking about, one of the things that kind of cracks me up is people don't want to take into consideration that most of the people who just gotta be in attack mode on a regular basis are unhappily single, or unhappily single. They're not in relationships. They're unhappily single. And this is why the gender war keeps going, because you're listening to people who are unhappily single give you information to be unhappily single, to blame the opposite sex. X, man, what's going on? Thank you. You know, I can't believe I did. There we go. There we go. I'm over here tripping. You know, and it's cool with the controversial topics. Thanks. You know, it's cool with the controversial topics, but exactly, cut to the chase. And if to me, it don't bother me about making no money. What bothers me is some of these. It's not the people making the content. Sometimes it's the people who follow the content and they wind up using it as an excuse to be socially awkward. You know, what's up, James? Some of these people wind up being socially awkward and using um the gender war as an excuse. You know, I don't know why, nobody likes me. Because you're not carrying yourself properly. You're not taking care of yourself properly. You're not presenting yourself properly. We could have told you that a long time ago. And because I was, one of the ladies was talking, I was listening to Jessica the X earlier, you know, and see, Android, you shouldn't even been, you know, you shouldn't have been in this space at 13 or 14 because that'll make you crazy. That's not even that's not a good idea. I mean, you're 13 or 14 at the time, but it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea to be in the gender war space at that early of an age because you gonna wind up taking that out on other teenagers and they have no idea what that was about. Now, what I find ironic about some of this is some of the most like I was saying about the Jessica X thing, my bad. Um you're hearing people hate the opposite sex using the talking points of a content creator. And here's a problem with that. If you wind up getting into relationships or not getting into relationships because of a content creator, then to be perfectly honest, the person that you're dating or not dating, they're not dating you, the person. They're dating that content creator because they're not, you're not with that person. A lot of people don't have are not taking a sense of self into these relationships. They're taking a sense of how can I say this? They're taking a sense of what they feel a content creator would do. And thus that keeps the gender war going. And then also you got to think about, the gender war keeps going on because in some ways you got newer content creators looking at it as it's lucrative. So what they're doing is they're just taking older content creators' content and revamping it. I don't personally have a problem with that, to be perfectly honest. But what winds up happening is people start beefing in the space for recognition or for the for what, subscribers or views or this, that, and the third. It becomes a problem. You know, yeah, yeah. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that, fam. You wasn't old enough. you know, yeah. What's happening? Huh? Massive Dynamics took your wrench away. Hold up. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what you're talking about. How can Massive Dynamics take your wrench away? I'm trying to figure that out. Give me 1 second, See, I don't have this thing on my Oh man, Kawhi Leonard got hurt. Okay, hold up. Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm gonna try to get. All right, I got it. I got it on. I got it. So you started with Roosh. Okay. So now let me get back to it. So I had to fix that. So my apologies about that, Uncle. I don't know what the heck happened. So here's where it goes wrong. If you get yourself caught up in a situation where you're really trying, you trying your best to get it together, but the content is ruining you. Because I'm seeing people, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing people actually disrespect people in real life, in their real lives, because of the gender war content. And here's where things are going to go wrong. Because just like I could talk about it in a negative way, I could say this in a positive way. It's going to keep restarting because people are going to keep acting like they don't have sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who are out here who really act like they got no sense. And they wind up doing the very same thing that people in the gender war talked about. They wind up fitting the very same stereotype. And once they fit that stereotype, they go down the same exact road and then they end in the same exact space. And then that creates the same exact narrative and the same exact story. And guess what happens? More gender war. You know. So I got your Android user. I'm gonna put the link in the chat in a second. You know what? Because I mean, I'm game to talk about this stuff tonight particularly. I was supposed to get up earlier, but I didn't get out. I didn't get home till about 2-3 hours ago. You know, Merry Christmas and all that to everybody else. If anybody come on, I'm going on one, just one on one. Talk for a minute, go to the next person. That's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna keep doing that actually. And Unc, I ain't forget about you. You know, so now we're in this space where, and another thing about that is, like when people have moderators, that keeps the gender war going too. Because sometimes some of the moderators go off on people for no reason. Just cut your camera off, fam. Because I don't even want, I see you with your hat on and whatnot. You in the back chat. I don't want to get you, people act funny. Shaft, I see you in the back chat. I'm going to get to you in a second. Can you hear me? Android, can you hear me? Let me see if you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, yeah, man. I've been in the space since I was maybe 13, 14. I started off with Bruce V at his forums, The Return of Kings. I would go and look at like what are girls like in X country? Like what are chicks like in Brazil, or what are chicks like in say Sudan or whatever. But ultimately, I eventually left the forums because I figured out that hey, all women are fundamentally the same. It's just the culture that kind of separates them to a certain degree, but they operate off of the same program. And I feel like a lot of I've been through the manosphere, and when the black guys broke off at the time during the accusations of racism in the MGTOW community and red pill, all of that, Tito, hardcore, all of that. I was around for all of that. Um, and it's only gotten worse to me from what I've observed. Back then, it was okay, like Tommy Sotomayor, all of that was entertainment to me. I never really took it seriously. Um, but now it's just straight up nasty. Like what I saw in that previous stream, that was horrible. It was a major uh, shit show. It was awful.
Um, how does how can I say this? Ask this properly. Do you see why it probably wasn't a good idea to start watching that stuff at 13, 14 now?
Yeah, because that kind of plants the seeds in your head, and once you consume that content throughout the years, you start to kind of turn negative. I know for a while I was kind of I turned to it because I didn't really I was getting bullied at school, and for a long time I didn't really have like a good self image of myself. I was kind of like uh, what's her face Aquarius Sun over in the previous stream. I didn't like myself. I didn't like being black. I didn't like what I looked like. I wanted to radically kind of change my appearance and whatnot, but I can't do that. So the only way is to accept myself as I am. But I was having trouble with girls that I was attracted to, so I kind of fallen down that whole rabbit hole. Um, yeah.
You ever you ever watch Big Mouth on Netflix?
Nah, I'm not really a Netflix guy.
Okay, it's a comedy animation, but it's really crazy. But it's really about teenage kids going through puberty, and in the amount of ideas and the things that go through their head and are given to them at a teenage in that stage. And it's weird. It's crazy to the mug, but it kind of mirrors that. When you're impressionable, there's certain things that you shouldn't just be exposed to straightforward because it's gonna, it'll give you a bad reaction. So that's what
Right.
I'm saying.
Because I was a curious child, and I actually was caught watching pornography at 10 or 11.
That we all have done that, so
Right.
don't even sweat it. You know what? I'm gonna get to I'm gonna
Yeah, we
put
can
you
move
down
on.
in the chat. Yeah, and I'm gonna go to just because I'm trying to keep the time thing right.
Right, right, right.
So if you stay, and I'll come back to you. If not, don't worry. It's all love. So all right. Oh snap! I didn't mean to cut him off like that. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. Oh, I got you.
Hey,
What's popping
nephew, how
on?
you been doing, man? Hey, man,
Holidays
just
of the
let me
month.
hey, just let me tell you, man. Master Dynamics has made an alliance with some of these incel and midtown Negroes, man, who are butthurt about the truth that we be talking about. I had a
Yeah,
talk with about C Booger on another live yesterday, and we was up there talking about well, I told C Boogie, man, even if they pay me about $5 billion to be a psychiatrist with some of these messed up Negroes, I couldn't do it. And like C Booker said, even if they offered me $2 billion, I couldn't do it. And then I told the breakdown ladies, it is easier to bench press 500 pounds than to re-educate American Negroes.
yeah. That's this is, and I hate to say that, but this is becoming the bigger issue to me because I
Hmm.
think some of these people just want to, like, I'm not tripping about the content personally, but
Right.
there's a certain part where I'm concerned that some grown people are not gonna act grown because they stuck on gender war content. Because you're
And
gonna still have to deal with
nephew, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, a lot of these folks missed the boat because the new gender war is the transsexuals versus the lesbians. Because I seen videos, man, where the lesbians and transsexuals were going at it for a long time because the lesbian women don't consider the transsexuals to be real women, and they're still tripping about it. So this gender war, to put an end to this gender war, is pretty simple: balancing yin, raw femininity, with yang, primal masculinity. because I remember when one OG told me a long time ago. He told me, said, "Hey, nephew Ed, the gender war ends when you ever get that pussy wet." And that's what I learned growing up, you know, in the '70s and '80s, because I hung around, selecting alpha black men like my uncle and like my dad and my cousin, but they got me hip to game for the longest. There are
See,
times that when I was growing up, I didn't put some dysfunctional Negro women and Negro men in their place. Because I was raised up in a household where they didn't put up with any type of fuckery, whether it be from the males or the females.
that's
The elders
that's
didn't
the
play that.
that's the part that's cracking me up now. It's like it looks to me that people don't pay attention to that. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering now. People are not paying attention to some people just want to be on BS and not be told anything about it. And I'm
I,
thinking to
I mean,
myself,
they're doing it to get money
no,
and views.
yeah, not just not even content creators. I mean, like, okay, if I just wanted to have a like, when some people say you're bashing, if I just wanted to have a straight channel where I could just throw women under the bus every day, every video, it's very easy to do because
Yes,
social media has so much content that people upload themselves that you can do a commentary on it every day. And
and
it could be something
yeah,
new.
and see that's why I told some of the black women in the chat. Every time you upload your dysfunction and fuckery for the world to see, other races are laughing at you as a collective of women worldwide. That's why I said many times, dysfunctional black females, dysfunctional American black females are the worldwide lapstock of femininity and womanhood. Social media has proven this time and time and again. And every time they try to argue the point, I tell them, hey, look at the social media pages and see these dysfunctional American black females and black males proudly show the dysfunction, upload it themselves. And they have the nerve to ask why this cracker still sees them as weak, empathetic, stupid children.
That's and that comes with part of this why the gender war keeps going because other people benefit off of it.
Yeah,
Other people benefit off of it, and the funny part about it is sometimes we gravitate to the people who benefit off of us going at each other.
like DJ Vlad or Jerry Springer or Maury Povich.
It's hilarious, James. I see you. I'm gonna get to you in a minute, fam. Uh, let me and I'm glad you said that, Patrick. Like, here's the funny part about it. And shout out to O'Shea. That's my dog, man. Straight up. One of the other reasons why the gender war keeps starting on the male side is because some brothers, y'all don't want to hear this, but you don't support the stuff that'll give you a better life outside of game with women.
Like the Black Brain Trust,
Yeah, exactly. Black Hall of Game, Black Brain Trust. You know,
the Brother Pill.
well, I mean, we talk more game stuff, but I feel you on that. But it's like the other stuff, you know, uh hatchets. A lot BGS should be way bigger because he talks about a whole plethora of things. Like
He
unless
goes real deep into it too. He
yeah,
goes real deep into it.
when they had the Great Faulkner Initiative, all of that stuff, brothers don't show up. Like brothers, we don't want to say this, but we don't support each other when it comes to us not talking about black female fucker. And we got to do better than that. Because on the flip side, the women, they will support all kinds of different things with the women. Even though the man hate is involved in it, you see them show up in number to a plethora of different things.
And,
So,
and and here's what tripped me out. There's a lot of black women that support David Carroll's rabbit hole. That's what tripped
oh
me out.
yeah, oh yeah,
And David Carroll be talking about a lot of other things besides the dysfunction of Black American females. He also talks about the dysfunction of Black American males too.
exactly.
You know,
Let me get to
yeah,
James.
the
I'm gonna
question is deep.
I'm gonna come back to you just because I rather do this one-on-one thing because it's kind of like it works easier for
I
me at
feel you.
least. So I'm
It's
gonna
all
get to
good.
James. I appreciate y'all, and I ain't forget we still gonna
No
get it done.
problem.
All right.
Yeah, we need to deal with the podcast known as the chill pill and the mat talk, man.
Yeah, I
Real
know.
talk.
That's why I said we gonna get that one done.
Gotcha.
You got it, James. You there, fam?
Yeah, I'm here, fam. What's going on, L.A.R?
Man, nothing, man. Full stomach, stay up a little late.
L.A.R, man, I'm glad you're talking about this, God. As Shav said, man, it's sad we're in 2020 and the chaos still rumbles, man. It's always a WWE, WWF match with this gender war. And parts of society, as you said, they thrive off of it. But I think most importantly, it just shows you the lack of maturity within our community. You know what I'm saying? You have one side where men can't even talk about actual finance and structure, economical development. I mean, I've gone on a couple channels that brothers we mutually know, and they'll talk about economics, and that following will be probably, they might have like 30 people there. As soon as we talk about bashing chicks and XYD and, shitting on each other, it'll get like 20,000 views, man. It's just, it's weird, man. I can't even call it. Um, it's just one of those things, man. It's all I could say, in my opinion. You know, I just have to remove myself because there's too much going on in 2020 and even moving forward in 2021.
That's the crazy part, man. Like, what's funny? Like, my granddad used to say, women can't live with them, can't live without them. The blues was uh predicated on gender war stuff, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But the crazy part about it is people talked about other things also. And when I think about it, because I'm a big music buff, right?
gotcha.
Even the guys who talked the most about bad relationships talked about good relationships.
Hmm.
And what's becoming interesting is I'm starting to I'm starting to believe. Wash, I see you, fam. I'm gonna get to you in a few. I'm starting to believe that the gender war for some people is an excuse to continue to have bad relationships.
Yes, I agree with you on that, brother.
You
I
know,
definitely agree with you on that.
because I've seen brothers comment like when somebody's in a good relationship, dudes are mad. Women are mad. When I see somebody put up a picture of somebody attractive of the opposite sex, you see people pop in their same sex mad. You put up a picture of a pretty girl, dude. Some dudes like, you. Women put up a picture of a guy she like. Some of the women, and it's like, wait a minute, what exactly y'all doing?
I mean, LAR, let's keep it a buck. There's no accountability on both sides. It's crazy to me how you have women who say, they have their demands, brothers have their demands. But then when you look at them as an individual, they can't even keep up to their own demands if they
Yeah,
were looking at them. You know what I'm saying? So it's the hypocrisy is crazy in the black community, brother. Like this, I fully have again, man. It's just one of those things as I get older and I listen more and a lot of things that are being addressed. And I think it's due to COVID, right? Because now everybody can't go out, they can't wear the makeup, you know what I mean? There's restrictions now. So now whatever's been brewing inside is only coming out more and it's really showing people's true colors, true who they really are, you know what I mean? Or unresolved issues. And it might be a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because now for brothers who are kind of going back and forth, COVID has created more of a fine line in the sand. Um, and we might probably need that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm gonna go to Washer real quick.
Gotcha.
Let me ask you this though. Do you think the people who are in COVID realize if you are upset at the opposite sex during COVID, but you ain't around them, do they realize it's you? You get what I'm saying?
I think I say yes and no. Yes, because when you were continuously, as they said, you become an internet troll, right? After a while, you have to look at yourself. Because if you're alone for a reason. If chicks ain't calling you, there's a reason. If males ain't calling you, there's a reason. If you got to do so much on a dating app, there's a reason. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's pulling people out of their comfort zone, and that forces them to really say, okay, am I doing too much? And 90% of people are. Um,
Hold up,
I,
hold up. Uh, washer. Your device is not connected, so I can't pull you up, fam. Pop out and come back. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. I just realized that I looked down and it didn't work. My bad. My bad.
no, go. But yeah, man, I think at the end of the day, man, like COVID's really, if you really think about it, man, this is the first time in history, right? People are forced to lock down. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you were moving different, you can't really move. You know what I'm saying? Both sides. So now, when you hear all these gender wars, and this may we can flip this on to brother Kevin Samuels and the
And
way
shout out
he's
to
coming
Kevin.
out.
Shout out.
Um, Shout out to brother Kevin Samuels. You're seeing now because people are home, they're forced to think, they're forced to be critical, and now you having that. Like I said, you can't fake the funk no more. Because even through all these gender wars, um, the conversation's being had, but it ain't like what I think it was before. Um, and I think because of your channels and many other brothers' channels, that it's starting to really get more movement in the sense of brothers are really paying attention, right? Being more self-critical. You're gonna have your strollers, but I think the key process is um, that it's coming out to the forefront now. See, brothers like you, LAR, y'all don't cut corners on both sides. And at the end of the day, you got a lot of brothers who may act a certain way, portray a certain way, but they ain't no safety net for men. And I think what's happening now for women, because being in COVID, there's really no safety net for them because the economy's going different now. You
But we
can't
used to
talk
bring
of
that up. You feel
say
me?
that again.
We used to bring that up. We used to bring like BGS was the first one to kick it off years before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it was brought up on numerous occasions, and now that it's happened, it's like
Yep.
okay, because I'm not, and what I'm about to say might sound messed up for some people, so just brace yourselves. I'm not too sure there are certain demographics of men and women who can operate if there wasn't conflict with the opposite sex.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you see it all the time, LAR. You have women and men who they thrive off the arguments and the chaos, right? It goes from an actual conversation to a Maury Povich show, a Jerry Springer show. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations where, as I said before, COVID is showing people's true colors. And the fact of the matter is this, because now you on lockdown, now you don't have the resources, right? Now you have to be very critical on how you present yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's
Because
funny?
go ahead.
I remember me and O'Shea was doing a brother pill prior to prior to the first stimulus coming out, right?
Yep.
And I remember saying on the brother pill, I said, watch these dudes spend their money on this OnlyFans. Because what's funny about it to me is we're in a space where guys talk about stop, knowing good and well people, a bunch of men take stimulus check money and give it to the women we'll talk about on OnlyFans. This is how they made $10,000 in a day because guys were that thirsty.
L.A.R. What about homeboy Larry Wheeler, the big YouTube guru?
Mm-hmm.
He came out talking about he almost blew close to a mil, some
Damn.
crazy number. Yeah, I think
I remember him coming out, but
yeah,
I know
it
that
was
I
some
know the
crazy
stimulus.
number.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
crazy.
blowing close to at least. I think he blew up close to almost 500,000 on OnlyFans, bro. It got to the point his shorty had to basically balance his checkbook. Think
Man,
about that. My man who makes Larry Wheeler generates close to about a million a year off YouTube, just workout. That man himself was blowing half of his earnings on OnlyFans.
and this
So
this this is a problem. It's a,
you
like because you can't say, and I'll flip this around even with the ladies, right?
hmm
I have one issue. I have one major issue with the women in the gender war
hmm
is they they don't want to take the major women who the women follow. They don't want to tell the ladies that follow them. We were on panels with men before. They just made us look stupid because they actually had talking points better than mine.
I mean, LAR, you know this. We continue to have these debates, right? I'm not even gonna call them arguments because real individuals, real intellectuals have debates. The problem that we have now is, as you said, we have misinformed, undereducated people that get on these panels and display more emotion, right? And then they start attacking the individual versus displaying the intellectual argument. And therefore, that creates momentum, especially on the sister side, right? And then you got brothers who do it too, right? That want to support the nonsense. That when you actually present the factual data, the real information, it's totally irrelevant.
I'm a,
You know what I'm saying?
you know what? I'm gonna leave it there with you because I just thought about something, and I'm gonna go back to David because
Uh,
he's talked about his age earlier, and you just said something that sparked it.
Go
So
ahead. I'm here.
I got you. Appreciate it.
Come on.
Let me see. Android, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
What James just said, it sparked me to think about something, and I'm gonna come back to you on. Um, since you've been watching this stuff from that age to now, have you noticed that bigger, like even people like Roland Martin in the Fox Soul Show? Do you realize that's like a amalgamation of the gender war?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's seeping into the mainstream outlets now.
The reason why I'm asking you that is because I don't think I'm not sure if you knew this, but part of this political thing that went on was something that was in the manosphere like 2-3 years ago. So the fact that like Roland Martin is talking about these things, and Ice Cube is talking about things, and um Tariq been talking about it. Tariq, she been talking about it. But the business. Jason Black, who I remember, I think he was on either him or one of the other Professor Truth. One of them was used to be on Tommy Sotomayor a lot in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm asking that is because do you see your peers coming across these same talking points?
I honestly don't have friends in real life, but on the internet, I do. When I would mention it to people at school in person, when I was in high school, they would just look at me like I was silly or something.
See, this is going now we gonna have to get you some friends now. You can't just be in the house now. We're
Well,
gonna get you out in the streets now.
that was also another problem I would say is that uh, people who kind of stay on the internet, when you stay on the internet for long enough, you kind of become a bit radicalized, and it just warps your mind.
Coach, thanks, fam. Like he 21. He 21. Um, let me what have you do you have a plan as far as self-improvement goes?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I feel better about myself, like confidence wise. I mean, I could probably go approach some chicks and not really think anything of it. I'm a pretty skinny guy, so I'm just kind of working on building a bit of muscle here and there. Um, Maybe learning some new languages and trying to travel on my own and just kind of get away from my parents' house because I live with my father right now. He's blind. Um, my parents divorced a couple of years back, so I've been kind of helping him out and whatnot.
The first thing you need to do is not be concerned about your weight. That have everybody who's young is skinny, okay? A lot of people, that's a good thing. That means you can get bigger over time, But go out a little bit more when you can. But here's some advice because I'm 20 years older than you. All right. Do the things that interest you the most. Don't worry about what other people are interested in. You don't have to fit into that. You can get in that stuff, you know what I'm saying, and see how it is, but don't be so concerned about a life that you might not like. You get what I'm saying?
Right, because for a while I was a people pleaser, and it still is difficult for me to say no. I had one chick that I was working with. She was with this guy. He's pretty much like the epitome of baby boy. And she's asking me for money, constantly asking me for money. I'm like, when are you gonna stop? You're 31. I'm 21. That's not a good look.
You know what? I appreciate you saying that because you spawned something else. What's gonna wind up happening, and I'm gonna say this to you, but I'm gonna go to Unc next. What's been happening that a lot of people are talking about but not saying up front, what people are doing who've been in this gender war for a while, whether it's been online or offline, they're dating younger to circumvent having to deal with any drama. So sometimes when you're younger, you're gonna get older women talk to you because people in their age group and above don't want them. And some of the women could say the same thing with older men dating younger women, because sometimes it ain't just he's looking for just somebody younger. Sometimes people in his age group or older don't want him. So just be careful about that because people will date you because they've they failed because they were doing a gender war. Now you're the best option they got by age because you don't know the backstory of what's going on sometimes.
Right, right. Yeah, because this chick, I used to work with her. I'm unemployed now, but she's 31, and it's like a lot of people they don't have their stuff together. That's why I got to get out of here. Uh, I just know too many kind of like bummish people.
If and I'm gonna tell you this and then I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go. If you get any, because I know they're supposed to do a stimulus thing again, take some of that money and try to invest it in a cheaper blockchain. One that's like affordable, the ones that are like, a penny to a dollar. Okay. Just do that and try to get a few of them in And if a few of them, some of them gonna blow up just because blockchain is gonna be the next thing, the cryptocurrency thing. Just use that money to low key invest in smaller things or smaller businesses that that are that are that are up and coming. Like when Netflix was up and coming, like Hulu might be, a sling or something like that. Like if Clubhouse uh is selling on the internet, is selling stock, invest in stuff like that. You feel me? Start early in doing that. You got it, Dave.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I had a Charles Schwab account, but then I closed it. Because I'm a bit impulsive when it comes to stocks. I buy. It seems like I always buy at the wrong time, and then
I get you because you said you had Ripple, and Ripple just got that. Yeah, I get that. Don't. I mean, you go win some and you gonna lose some. But the reason I'm saying to do that is because you need to get a. I would, as a young man, I would tell you get accustomed to putting money away and investing early, so you can make it a habit. Not necessarily, you win some, you lose some, but get involved in that habit because there are people my age and older who never got involved, and what they're gonna wind up doing is looking for somebody your age to help them foot their bills. So this is my advice for you to not be in that position when you get older. You feel me?
right, right. Because my father, he tells me the same thing. He's near 50. I think he should be 47 right now, but he's old school. He was born in '73, and he says a lot of the same things. So I kind of take advice from him. At the end of the day, instead of some of these YouTubers, because some of them are not, it's all entertainment. So, and these
Gotcha.
people have a product to sell. So that's why I tune into you and Ron Wills and whatnot. You
Shout
guys,
out to Ron.
yeah, you guys kind of remind me of my father. Y'all are more level headed. You have more experience, more mature.
I don't. Well, I'm gonna get out of here on that one. Don't let me fool you. I'm a knucklehead. Don't. But I'm gonna go to Unc real quick.
All
I'll
right.
catch you. All right. And look at Ryan put up some right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that up in a second. All right, Unc, I got you.
Hey, hey, nephew, let me tell you, man. I've been on a few of the breakdown of women's perspective
Oh
panels, and guess who I've been on the panel with one time? There was one panel I've been on with Bomb Cherry and Obsidian Ali.
yeah.
And now here's the thing that tripped me out, right? When Bomb Cherry saw me show myself on cam, Bomb Cherry said, "You know what, Edward? Even though he's like in his early 50s, like 51, he is he keeps himself in good shape, and he's young looking for a 51-year-old." And the thing about Obsidian, he was up there trying to rag on me about the panel I was on with like Wesley Pipes and Danielle Concrete Rose. So I asked Wesley Pipes certain things about the porno thing, about the difference between the porno industry and the exotic entertainment industry, and also what was the process in which the actors had to get the actresses pussy wet, right? And then I told him I was about to have a threesome with two young women one night. What was the best sexual appeal to use? And he said the rhinos. And a lot of these tripped out young incel midtown niggas misunderstood that as me trying to ride Wesley Pipes. And I said, y'all some goddamn idiots. It was
Well,
two it was two select men chopping up game on how to deal better with women. Y'all just missed it.
well, you
Y'all
like
just missed it.
first and foremost, shout out to everybody on that panel. Concrete and and Sister George, they cool peoples. Obsidian is cool peoples.
Yeah,
Don't get it twisted. Obsidian got more of like a shock jock thing, going.
yeah,
But he,
he's a shot job. Yeah,
yeah. Bomb Cherry's hilarious. She a sweet lady.
yeah, she
She
is.
look kinky, but she a sweet lady.
She a
but
trip.
part of what you just said, what makes me laugh about this stuff is two things. Even sticking to a part of this topic, one of the issues that people are having is they're letting themselves go physically, and they want somebody who's got it together physically. So you got people who are upset that the people that they want don't want them because they let themselves go, and thus perpetuating the quote unquote gender war. Because you want fat people want fit people, and ugly people want pretty people. It don't make, and they mad about that. But the other thing is that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I've been sitting on videos to make about this topic.
Right.
a lot of people are a lot of people are bad at sex.
Oh
And
yeah.
and
They didn't get to the Kama Sutra for a minute.
yeah, like a lot of people are bad at sex, and I'm not sure if they're willing to take the advice.
Well, here's the thing, nephew. Like cousin T taught off a wingman said, it's all about your length, your girth, your stamina, and your grooming. And the thing about what Ron Will said about the body game, about dealing with opposite sex with women, you got to be able to like deal with them in the arena of three things: comfort, arousal, and stamina. Now, in order for the men to keep with their stamina, they got to learn to deal with that treadmill and deal with that jump rope and that heavy bag a bit. I mean, that's how I keep my stamina up by walking,
I'm a,
running on the treadmill. Uh,
hold up, Patrick. I
yeah,
feel I know what you're saying, fam, but I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this straight about Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. What
or the
Kevin is
Godfather.
doing, yeah, what Kevin is doing with his show, he, as far as his setup is dope, but don't
Yes,
think his show, he basically is saying to the women the same thing he's been saying to men for years.
get out of those delusions.
That like you gotta, even in this space, Kevin was he was vilified for telling guys you gotta dress better, you gotta clean up, you can't be looking bummy out here talking about looking for a fine woman. It's the same to me. It's the same show. It's just people don't know that backstory about it. You know.
Now, nephew. Here's the thing that tripped me out about it. They saying this dude is gay, but I remember he was had a video, right, and he was at a certain lounge in Atlanta. And while he
Mhm,
was up there filming the video, two young Brazilian women walked up to him. One
mhm.
was 21, and the other one was 24. And they were sending him some heavy pick me vibes. And I
You
was up
know
there
what?
telling him in the chat. Usually, if it's women that approach gay black men, it's usually black women. But
Yeah,
women of other races don't do that. So
you
how
know
can you say that this dude is gay? You got two young women of another race approaching him. That's
the
ridiculous.
that sexuality thing came up a few times. The guys did it, the girls did it. Now men and women are doing it. Um, not gonna
And
dis.
see, Kevin Samuels is the same age as me, 51.
No, I'm getting to
He's
that.
OG.
No, I'm getting to that to stick to the topic about this.
I
You
got you.
know, the reason I'm saying that, is because what winds up happening is when somebody says something that hurts your feelings because hit dogs holler, you
Yes.
begin to attack the person who you feel like is the avatar for telling you you need to get your shit together.
And see, that's why two of my channels were like permanently banned and flagged by YouTube because I was up there talking about some deep truths that a lot of folks were too butthurt to deal with. Especially after that interview I had with Cindy Ashby on the Wake Up
Oh,
Radio about sovereignty.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm with you on, but I'm trying to clear something up.
Look,
Patrick,
go ahead.
I like what Patrick just said. There's too much talk. Here's the funny part. This is why I say it's the same show. Okay,
Right.
the high value thing with the Godfather, it came
Yes.
from women previously saying the type of guy that they wanted. They wanted a guy who was a certain height, a certain build, who made a certain amount of money. So basically, the show came from, if this is who you want, how can you get what you want? And ironically, he did the same thing with the men. The men wanted a certain type of woman, a certain type of build, a certain type of a look, a certain type of character. And he was like, well,
What did they bring to the table to get it?
exactly. He was like, okay, so do you fit these qualities, to do that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, disillusionment. You're right, Patrick. Oh,
You are what you attract.
yeah, because is. So tell them
Mm-hmm.
what your channel.
Oh, what's my channel? Well, one channel is I think Bailey Edwards 774 at gmail.com, and the other channel is Aminbach9 at gmail.com. I mean, I'm not a content creator,
Yeah,
man, and
yeah,
that's
I
what
know.
tripped
I
me out.
remember. I remember.
Hmm.
You know, I'm trying to tell her. You see him in the chat under Edward Bailey. That's Unc right there.
Yeah, that's me.
So
And that image, that icon I got up there is Jack Johnson, and
right,
that's what inspired me to put that mantra in the chat saying that my swag is my passport.
I
Because you
get
look
it.
at you look at Jack Johnson, his prime masculinity was so high, man, that the white women were flocking to him. He didn't have to
Yeah,
chase them; they were chasing him.
yeah, but he was doing that because he was being petty, and I'm glad he was being petty.
Yeah, he was petty, man, because he got sick and tired of white boys talking shit to him. And like he said, if you want me to stop dating these white women, come in the ring and whoop my ass. And guess what?
They
They
couldn't
had to
do it.
bring the law on them to stop him.
Yeah, they couldn't do it. Let me well, he actually, Patrick, he from Galveston. He not actually from Houston. 30 miles away though.
Yeah, Jack Johnson's from Galveston, Texas.
Yeah, let me get to James real quick. I'm gonna come back on. I'm gonna swing back.
All right, it's all good.
Appreciate it. James, you there, fam?
Yeah, I'm here, God. I'm here, God.
All right. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Go ahead.
What Uncle's talking about with the Mr. Marcus thing, and I started talking about the sex thing. Do you think if these people were actually getting sex on a regular basis, or getting good sex on a regular basis, that this war keep going on?
Um, the let's be honest here. The war should never. The war keeps going on because of there's so much lack of education, right? If you bring up, Unc brought up Mr. Marcus, and I'm listening, and to me it's just like all I'm hearing is wisdom. Too many times brothers and sisters look at see it sounds like to them they see it as an attack, or they think they know better. The I would say deliberate ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, because all the time, when you notice when these debates, I should say more arguments, right? Um, it comes from a base of ignorance. It never comes from a side of articulation, right? So when when you bring up certain conversations of understanding for a man or for a woman, right? Whether it's sexual, financial, anything that has to do with being uplifted, man, that yin and yang is thrown out the fucking window. Excuse my language.
That's all good. You know what? Here's the irony about that to me. I wonder, do people understand balance in the first place?
No.
Because it seems like some of this stuff is fighting balance to be imbalanced or to be unilateral.
Well, I mean, L.A.R, let's keep it real. It's You really listen. It's about, as crazy as it sounds. It's about control. Who can It's the within our community. Excuse me. Within our community, for some reason, instead of playing chess, we continuous play. No, I'm sorry. Let me reverse that. In our minds, we think we're playing chess, but in actuality, we're playing checkers. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
So
we
yeah,
keep going back and forth for so long, and at the end of the day, it's like, well, I control the narrative. Do you? Or we just a group of individuals who are just, yeah, man, we can't grow. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because it's hard for me to say, uh, can I be pro black and constantly be in a gender war?
Mm.
And it's like, you know, because at some point, being gender war is becoming anti-family.
Fam, gender wars have always been anti-family.
Oh well, I know that, but I'm saying being being a person who just has got to be gender war every day, because I'm trying to think about it in the sense of we keep talking about it's either relationships or race, relationships, race.
I mean, LAR, let's keep it a buck. It really is about stroking someone's ego.
Hmm.
This is an ego thing. That's what I've always seen, in my opinion.
Coach, I see you. I'm gonna get to you, fam. Uh,
You know, in our community, the ego is sensitive. You already know. You know
you
what
got
I'm
me. You got me about to say. You got me about to say something that's gonna be evil.
saying? Nah,
Like,
you LAR ain't never. I don't see it as evil.
yeah,
See it as,
you don't, but I do. Uh,
let's keep it a buck. The black
okay.
community has a fragile ego. It's one thing when it's one thing to have pride, right? Because you know you gotta. There's some things you have to stand on, and there are some things you have to walk away from. In our community, we can't walk away from a lot of things.
See that's she about to start me saying something that I really don't want to say. You know,
Say it, brother.
let me say this. Uh, okay, LAR movement is a tamed down version of who I act of me, because I talk mad trash on a daily basis. Like I talk trash. Like my friends and family know it's going down when I come around. I talk like a hood spades player. So I try not to do that on
But
this.
LAR, people respect you for who you are, though.
Oh yeah. No, it ain't that. I trust
No,
me.
no, it's not even that.
Yeah,
But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
yeah.
It's not even about, because at the end of the day, in our community, and you know, this is why Brother Samuel's, Kevin Samuel's getting attacked.
This is where I'm about to go with it. But
There you go.
when you say ego, it's like you got a bunch of people who don't want to say this publicly, and I can't say it for them because I'm not taking shots at nobody. But what it
Yeah.
looks like is some people wasn't a man in real life or wasn't a woman in real life. So I'm gonna be the man or the woman on the internet,
Yep.
and I'm gonna send you down a path of damnation, so I
Hmm.
can still be the man or the woman while your life is in shambles and you a fan of mine.
Of
And it's
course.
like, and people getting mad at the wrong people because you got people
Totally.
actually trying to get you to better your life, and you got people actually trying to get you caught up in entertainment to the point that you fuck up your life.
LAR, how many times I've heard you say this to brothers and sisters? Go seek therapy.
Hold up,
Go
hold
seek
up,
some counsel.
hold up, hold up. Harambe, first and foremost, I'm a Saints fan. We're gonna win this year. But let me go there. You know what I'm saying? I had to do that.
They
But
are gonna win this shit.
no, look, look, I was like, yeah, Pittsburgh was on the radar until they kept fucking up. But you know,
But how many times you said um having counsel is critical in a man and woman's development? And then within our community, now I ain't doing that. But it's crazy. They feel more entitled to get on YouTube and troll. And it's like you still have the same problems, as you said. You still face the same consequences. It's to the point where you can't even anything that you say that is constructive is deemed as an attack.
yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to Coach because Coach ain't been here, and we're gonna touch on that attack part right now because
Yeah,
that's
I'm here.
that's
Go ahead.
the
I'm
damn
here.
problem. All right, I'll be back. Coach, I got you, fam. You there?
L.A.R, what's going on, man? You can hear me all
What's
right?
poppin'? Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's popping?
So I won't be very long. I'm actually getting the kids ready for bed. But shout out to Shahrazad Ali. I've read her books from the '90s, and if you think about what this gender war is they're dating first world problems. If you think of, if you really think about what everyone's whining about, everybody wants their dating fantasy rather than thinking about who can I link up with to survive. We're putting sex in front of survival, and so you're seeing people reap the consequences. The ladies mainly, where a sexual thrill is more important than having their financial needs met. And initially, you know what I mean. So when you go to another country where a couple may make $6 a week, they don't have time to fantasize about laying pipe or getting laid down the pipe because they got to eat the next day. You know what I mean? And so it's getting to a silly point where it's like, okay, where are we going to cut this line and where are we going to find the people who want to produce? I just interviewed with O'Shea a couple days
Shout out
ago.
to OJ.
Shout out to O'Shea, and he was talking about why married dudes, why do married men catch a lot of flack? And like the brother was saying before me, this is an ego thing. You know, um, you are more respected if you're slinging that pipe to multiple women rather than being productive and having a family. And the only argument I have with this is that if our if our goal is to pipe as many women as we can for free, then I don't want to hear the community talk. And that's all this is that do you want a community or not? You find the small amount of marriageable women that are out there that are submissive, willing to work with you, and you reward those small group of women, build families with them, and you build on a separate platform or build on a separate, in a separate community. And that way you have your standard. But until we have the ability and the willingness to come to an agreement and say, I'm willing to work with such and such for the sake of survival, then we don't have a community conversation. We're going
You
to keep
know,
going into, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you know what, Coach? I'm gonna add something to what you just said. Tell me if I'm in the ballpark right now.
Go ahead.
This I'm sticking with the title. Why the gender war keeps starting over? Because people don't want to admit that they like being single, and single is gonna get you broke. Because if we keep saying the black community needs money, the quickest way to get money is to couple up.
Yep.
So it's a lot of people who are mad because they don't want to couple up, but they want somebody to pay for them or subsidize them, or they want to be in
Absolutely.
a subsidized situation. You know,
Yep.
it, with the women is you want a guy to pay for you. With the men is you want a guy to pay for her so you can get her for free. And
Bam, there it is.
What's coming to my attention at the end of the day is what's going to wind up happening is all the people who been playing in their relationships and been playing financially are going to stay mad because ain't nobody coming to save them.
Right on. There you go. And here's the thing is that we always want to compare ourselves to other communities and what they're doing and what they're not doing. All the other communities understand. Most, even in the white communities, most people, most couples both have to work. They both have to work, to get the bills paid. And so, it's unfortunate that that's the type of economy that we live in. But, we have this ideal fantasy. Well, I won't say it's a fantasy because it is true, is that the more economic power that you have, the more economics you have, the more power you have in leverage in your relationships, which is absolutely true. But the problem, I won't say it's a problem, but no one's directing that into something productive. It's just, look how big my dick is, male or female. And so,
which is a horrible argument to make because nobody is trying to look at it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so you are judged based on your productivity in society. And so, no matter how much you're slanging or you're getting dudes to, fly you out, pay for things, when people look at our community, everyone's looking at it as a financial opportunity because no one wants to band together and say, hey, these families will take care of the industrious or the agricultural or the educational. We're literally waiting for someone else to take care of it and then get upset when, people take advantage of our dollar that we're willingly giving to them. You know what I mean? And so, and I'll say this and I'll be done, is that when are we going to draw this line? When are we going to draw this line to say, if you're willing to come and work, let's pair up. You may not be a dime piece, but you're a six with a workable personality that's who has motherly instincts, who will be a good mother to my children. Let's pair up, and you grab those ones, who show themselves worthy of pairing up with and build separately amongst the rest. It's kind of like think about like at the science fair. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's dicking around, not doing the assignment. And then a week from the science fair, everyone's panicking because they realize they haven't been taking the time to pair up with the right people to get the project done. And then when the science fair comes, the people who've been doing it right from the beginning get good grades, while the other folks are, they slop together a project trying to BS it, to the teacher saying this is a workable thesis that we worked all the way through. And the teacher's like, yeah, right.
See, we gonna have a problem then, because what you saying, what people don't want to say is what's gonna happen when you say I'm average and you average, and maybe together we can be above average.
Hey, L.A.R, I've been ugly all my life. I after football and I started making some money, I just turned into ugly with cute features. You know what I mean? So hey, you know what I'm saying? So hey, when I met my wife when I was you said what?
No, go ahead. I said recently.
No, I was gonna say. Oh, shout out to brother Maurice. So I met my wife when I was 21, and I knew at that point, this, my wife had talent. She had a lot of potential that could turn into something great. And I said, you know what? Let's work together to build something. And, here we are 10 years later as a homeowner, have children. They're gifted young kids who are going to private school, and I'll leave this last quote and I promise I'm done. I met Dick Gregory my junior year in college. And as I was interviewing him, he asked me, he was like, "What's the point of having children?" And I'm not thinking about it. I'm a junior in college, and he was like, "Well, I'll tell you, dummy, it's to solve your community's problems." And after he said that, it made a lot of sense. Is that you birth these children in order to produce your next doctors and lawyers and mortgage brokers and mechanics, your teachers. You birth these the next generation so they can move your community forward. But as we keep going forward, the community keeps going backwards. So where are we going to draw the line? And I'll drop off there.
You got it. Appreciate you. Reese, I'm coming to you. Coach, I appreciate you, fam.
Absolutely appreciate y'all. L.A.R.
All right. Reese, I got you. Uh-oh. The heck just happened?
Hey, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can
Oh
hear
man,
you. I hope
man, really appreciate you, sir, for having this stream, man. We need more of these L.A.R, man. You the voice of reason in these crazy times, bro. We need more of these.
I'm just a nigga trying to grow his hair back. That's all.
You a general on the field. Get the captains ready, bro. So now I'm on the fence with the gender war thing, man. I think it's needed. I think a brother spoke to it earlier. This it is not really a war, man. We in pitch battles back and forth depending on the season. I think people like you, O'Shea, a lot of brothers in the space are giving men language to kind of deal with this stuff. I think L.A.R, we've been having this war since I was coming up. And for the first time, we got weapons, intellectual weapons to kind of fight against all this nonsense that's going on. People like you and other men in this space is giving us the courage and the wherewithal to verbally spar with people. And I'm happy for it.
Well, I like I said, I don't really have a problem with stuff, but I do have a problem with because when it comes down to, you ever been around somebody who been a jerk their whole life, and then they get old and they say, "I'm tired of fighting," and you like, no, you're not tired of fighting. You just know you too old to fight now. You know you get your ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? Like with this, when it keeps restarting, I'm trying to figure out like who's still gonna fight.
Here's my take on it, and this is AKA shout out to the Roger Report. I think that,
shout out to Roger.
Shout out for habitual line steppers.
Yeah.
Long live the habitual line steppers. My bad. Thank you for that cleanup. I think L.A.R, I think what's happening, I think people in your position and the other brothers on the line, this is a school, man. And I think what's happening, people are complaining about Algebra 1 when they're in Calculus 3. A lot of younger men are coming into this space and they're taking this course. So I don't think when it comes to the manosphere side, I think this stuff keeps getting rehashed because you got new people coming in and they're being exposed to this information for the first time. I'm with you. I've been in the manosphere since the Thomas Sotomayor days. And we've been in this space for 10 years, kind of having these kind of these think tanks and these back and forths amongst ourselves. Now that Kevin has brought new men into the space, I think that's the reason why you're getting a lot of the restart of a lot of these older conversations. Shout out to BGS. I think these conversations are needed because I think men need the language to kind of talk about them appropriately. And I think what's happening, we're getting a lot more resolution to our ongoing conversation. So I don't think it's a war. I think it's advanced levels as we move up.
Well, okay. One of the reasons I'm talking about like it keeps restarting is because like on the male side and on the female side, you got people you got men who don't necessarily like what the men are talking about.
Oh,
and with the men too.
Could you bookmark that? I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to give you my observation.
Go for it.
I'm going to be careful. I think men don't like talking about it because what you're doing Are you what religious background are you? Where you coming from? Christian, Islamic, atheist? Where you coming from?
Some of the family Baptist, some of them Catholic, and some of them Muslim.
Okay. Now, I mentioned that because it is. I think what's happening, LAR. Imagine walking into a Baptist church and telling people that Jesus don't exist. You're having men who ideologies that have shaped them for who they are being ripped away in a conversation. And you're going to get a violent response to that because they've built their whole life on something that you're not only testing, but it's fragile. That's why a lot of the men have a problem with this space, because what they've built their manhood on is getting challenged in real time by other men in the space, and they're not used to it and they're uncomfortable. That's what I've seen. Because I think what happens is a lot of the men in this space, I think they're coming to the realization, shout out to Coach Ali, that the men in this space who kind of lead with sexual prowess, I think they're coming to the understanding that they might be some of the problems in the community.
Yeah, like
it's a touchy one.
It ain't. See, even the guys who lead with sexual prowess, the funny part about it is, there's so many guys following them who want to lead with sexual prowess.
But that's some of the issue, L.A.R. Not everybody can be a quarterback, but you're telling everybody you can, and you're making it sound easy when it's not.
Well, like this is part of this is what winds up happening when you go down a road that you're not prepared to go down, and then you get kicked in the nuts and you get bitter. This is what winds up happening. This is why I'm saying, like, I see guys attacking guys, I see women attacking women. And it's like, at the end of the day, what winds up happening is the guys who attack the guys, they're going to be on the side of the women who attack the guys, and the women who attack the women, they're going to be at the side of the men who quote unquote attack the women. And it's like, so at no point do people come together. Let me back up for a second. This started because today I was watching the movie Patriot. Mel Gibson movie, right?
Yeah.
And there was a scene in the movie where the general was talking to I forgot he's a captain, but the dude was just breaking all the rules. And he said, listen, after we win this war, we're going to do commerce with these Americans. And I thought about it like, they trying to come, the movie is about, the civil, not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, and I'm sitting there like, at the end of the day, the man said, as long as we crush him, we could still do business with him. And I'm thinking to myself, the gender war trying to crush each other, but nobody trying to do business with each other after it's over.
No, but because if you look at it, both sides are being disingenuous. Both the men and the women are being disingenuous, right? Because ideally, I think somebody said it earlier. I think you said it, L.A.R. The women want a certain thing that the men are not delivering, and the men want certain things that the women are not delivering, but both of them are being disingenuous. Because at the end of the day, if we want to kind of work ourselves out of this, we got to build families. But both sides are not talking family talk. And ideally, we're going to have to come to terms and really look at ourselves introspectively and go, what we need to do to kind of start building families. And a lot of men and women are not ready to have that conversation with themselves because there's a lot of ugly truths that are going to come out, including me. I'm in a space right now where the manosphere has called out a lot of my personal behaviors that I had to put a stop to if I want a healthy community. And I had to be honest with myself, man. I was out there. I'm sure everybody was. But, I had to kind of slow that down, because if I want a healthy family, if I want to add a break to the community, I gotta make moves now to get there, and it might take me a minute to get there. But I gotta really kind of look at myself as like, if I want to be somebody's husband, I gotta be a husband today, not tomorrow, not when I'm done with old girl from down the street. Right now. And I think that's a lot of hard. And then Kevin, and the thing, and I want to circle back around to Kevin. The thing I love about Kevin's show is Kevin exposes female and male nature at his rawest form. He dangles that carrot, and women fall in, and they're all kind of moving based off of nature. And the men that don't like him, they're kind of moving off nature too.
See, I'm about to say this.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to chill out with this stuff.
Yes, sir.
What a lot of this stuff exposes,
yeah,
is people who take advantage of people who actually want to have positive relationships with the opposite sex, and they drag them back into being bitter and lonely because it pays.
Could you unpack that?
See, okay, what ends up happening is you got men and you got women, right, who cater to the idea that you're inherently better than the opposite sex. And as long as you're inherently better than the opposite sex, there is no ramification for you being arrogant. So you go out here doing dumb stuff that a person with common sense wouldn't do. You know, so what winds up happening is what Kevin exposed, in my opinion, was people are staunchly arrogant to the point that they don't see anything wrong with themselves.
True. Yeah, I agree with that.
So once you don't see anything wrong with yourself, you don't see somebody has to put up with things that are wrong with you.
Oh, that's deep. Yeah.
So now we at a point where you got folks out here who really think they're better than people when they not. You got the backup quarterbacks swearing to God that they're better than a Hall of Fame quarterback starting.
You mean the JVs?
Yeah, exactly. I could do that. I'm way better than that. See, this is where we at now. And this is why I say why the gender war keeps starting over, because you got people who get themselves in the gender war specifically off the fact that I'm better than them, when in actuality you're not. And what I meant by people taking advantage of it, you have other people who can create content that make you still feel like you're better than people when you're not. And you don't get the results of being better than people because you're not better than people. You just sit back like you in church. Like, amen, I'm going to get my day coming. No, it's not, because you never improved.
Do you think, and I'm going to speak for the men's side, do you think when we see that as men, do you think that's healthy for us? Meaning, because we kind of see those people, we see them, we can call them out in real time. I think it's unhealthy for the women, but for the men's side, what I'm realizing, I didn't understand how deep it was into that when Kevin blew up, and all the men who have problems with him kind of exposed themselves, and I didn't realize how deep it was because I'm at a different place in my life. Do you think that exposure is helping us grow as a space?
The exposure that Kevin has brought to the manosphere is going to actually blow this space up, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
But, I mean, in a positive way, as far as eyes on it and people hearing the material.
Yeah.
But what it's also going to do, and see, this is where people don't want to deal with something. All of the people who've been creating the undercurrent of fuckery, they're gonna have to answer to their quote unquote subscribers, their fan base. Because
I think that's the healthy part. Yeah. I think what's gonna happen is like we about to see how strong your foundations are.
But see, that's not gonna be the healthy part at first. Because the one question that people, and this is why I'm gonna tell you, this is why I love the Black manosphere in particular.
Yeah.
Brothers were talking to brothers on and offline, meeting brothers on and offline. And the things they were giving brothers were game to actually change their lives, not just talking to women. And guys have come back, guys have gotten started careers, guys have gotten out of depression, guys have created a new life for themselves, guys have started families, guys have actually done, guys have gotten it, guys have went to school, got educations, graduated, become tradesmen, become skilled people, become better human beings in general because of this space.
Yeah.
And the people who always talk bad about people in this space, you don't hear positive stories about all of their quote unquote, all of the people that follow them.
LA, to keep it 100 with you, bro. To your point, I've had a couple of men help me, including O'Shea. Shout out to O'Shea. I think he's the epicenter for a lot of this. I've connected to a lot of great men in this space. I'm doing business with a lot of great men in this space outside of this YouTube stuff. But what is helping me with L.A.R. is helping me with my discernment. Because I'm starting to recognize there's brothers that you can go like take out for chicken and beer with and shoot the shit with. And there's brothers that you can build empires with. And both are needed. You just got to figure out who's who. And then pick the person you want to deal with. But everybody's part of the family. So that's why, for me personally, I think it's healthy that we're having these factions form because we get to understand who people are. And then we give them an opportunity to stay where they at or kind of move over to another lane. Because to be honest with you, man, like people like you, I can build with an L.A.R. all day. But other folk in the space, I'll just take out to eat. No offense.
For me, this like, and I've said this numerous times. I got on YouTube as a hobby. Mm-hmm. This is one of my multiple hobbies. But I really do love the fact that this impacts people's lives in a positive manner.
Yeah, I agree.
That is the main thing that keeps me doing this. Because I enjoy the fact that something positive can come out of it. But what I see as far as the gender war stuff is there are people who can't. Let me like people. And this is not.
Could you give an example without naming names?
Okay. There's a female content creator that, you know, the Dusty phrase, right?
Yeah, I know the one in the.
Yeah, so people
Pacific Northwest. I'll leave it.
Yeah, no. People kind of get on her about, you know, the rumors or whatever. And there was one particular day that whether it's true or not, right? That me and O'Shea was talking, and he was like, can you believe that she might be? I was like, yeah. He's like, why you say that? I was like, cause as much as these guys talking all that trash about, you know, she bad, you know, she this, she that, they'll still hit it.
For sure.
This idea, she ugly. She ain't that ugly. Cause I know y'all are still holler. You know how I know y'all are still holler? Cause right now there's a porn star who's morbidly obese right now trying to get back in shape, and y'all still holler at her.
Yeah.
So for me, what winds up happening in this is why I say this stuff keeps going, is because people don't want to openly admit their own hypocrisy.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'm having an active debate with a good friend of mine, and I told him, because he's trying to sell me this idea that women are open just for casual sex, and I got a bunch of I come from a large female family, bro. They leverage sex with relationships.
See, okay, let me add to that for you. Like, this is what I mean by why it keeps starting. He said, yeah, but you know, he let me tell you something. He ain't the only one that would have got her pregnant.
Oh, bro.
See, that's my issue.
I got five on my team that would have shot. They shot
exactly. So let me get to this. What you just said about one of the issues that keep coming up that's kind of overlooked is age groups. See, when people keep saying something's going to happen, Like you were saying, women want casual sex. No. She got to be in a certain age group or a certain phase in her life. That ain't just going. If it ain't one of those two things, it ain't real. Mm-hmm. Just like these women, when they look at, like, people keep giving. Men keep giving men advice and not telling them the whole story, and women keep giving women advice and not telling them the whole story. And then you blame the opposite sex for how it fell out.
When I see that a lot on my homeboy side. Yeah, I see a lot of that on my homeboys.
Yeah, it's like, you should have known. You didn't know that. You didn't tell them that.
No, I got a lot of homeboys in my circle who casual sex partners became unhealthy relationships, and the girl had trap babies on them. That's what I've seen. Because like they don't treat the girl like a jump off. They treat her like a dysfunctional relationship.
Well, like, watch this. Like, I was laughing about this. So yesterday, Christmas, I was with my woman or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So we had this conversation about advertising. Advertising means women, are they advertising sex or they advertising their body? And so she called one of her sisters, and here was the bet. We're gonna get on Instagram and go to 10 pictures, and we're gonna see out of the 10 pictures how many who is advertising sex and who's just showing their body, right? And she was like, she lost like 7-3, 8-2. And the reason why I'm saying this is important when it comes to this particular discussion, mm-hmm, is because men and women don't know what's out there because they don't talk to the opposite sex about how what's out there looks to the opposite sex. See, I can tell my homegirls it's this, this, and this. Their girlfriend's gonna tell them something completely different.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, been in the room for that too.
Yeah, so, and the guys do the same thing. I mean, personally, sometimes I look at it like some of the advice that they give other brothers. That's bad advice, bro.
Give me an example of what you heard, and maybe I've heard something very similar. Like for the men's side,
All right, hold up. Hold on.
Cause I had a on my side.
Nah,
let me let you go.
The first one was lying. You don't have to lie. When they telling guys you gotta lie to get these women attention and get them, you ain't got to. It's a waste of time. Bad advice. You know what I'm saying? It like, and it's no disrespect, because I don't do it that way. Like when some people talk about pump and dump, some people are talking about it in the way of everybody knows what's going on, and other people talk about it in the way as they don't know what's going on. That's bad advice. You know what I'm saying? That's bad advice. Because you don't realize, what winds up happening is take into consideration when guys say other guys, everything another guys do, don't simp, don't spend money. That's bad advice.
I never got that part because I count my time now that I'm older, and I see the amount of time people spend on trying to get somebody to come back to their crib. It's interesting to watch that.
Because when guys are talking about, if you're trying to figure out a way to not spend money,
you about 3 hours in.
That's gonna cause a problem in itself. The better advice is to go into the situation with a budget limit. You know what I'm saying? This is my limit when you go into the don't go into the situation try to hustle your way out of everything. I'm gonna see if I can get it this, and don't do that. Don't do it. See, I've said this for years. Guys keep chasing sex, And it's a problem with that. The why is bad advice to keep chasing sex and keep meeting a new one and a new one and a new one is because that means you don't have what it takes sexually to keep a woman to make her come back. Because you spent so much energy just trying to get a new woman. You don't know how to actually satisfy a woman to the point that if you leave or if she leaves, she might come back or she wants to come back. It doesn't equate to people.
But do you think is intention?
I'm gonna get y'all. I'm coming, fam.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up at this.
No.
But L.A.R, do you think it's intention? Because I know a lot of brothers that kind of lead with "I just want sex," and they kind of end up in these weird relationships.
See, LC, I'm gonna get you, but your device not connected. You got to bounce out and bounce back in.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
See, here's y'all, it's late, so ain't nobody really gonna hear me talk right now. So I can just go ahead and start to let loose.
I see one of my homeboys do that part.
I got you now. Like when you leave with sex, the first thing let me say it this way. Since it's what time is it? Let me see what time it is. It's 11:47 Central.
11:47.
Even when women leave with sex, the immediate response is you can't fuck. See, when you leave with sex, that lets me know you were one trick pony, and that trick probably ain't that good. Because the fact that you leading with it, you talking it up, you advertising it, you making everything, you making it, you trying to mentally talk up that moment to the point that you trick good when it happened. Truth is like if I wanted to, I could make one video on a tutorial of men how to have great sex with a woman, because it's not that difficult.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, you got all that ego to get through first. It might be a little hard.
No, it ain't that difficult. It ain't difficult at all. You know, flirt first, foreplay second. You know, well, flirt first, set the mood. You can set the mood first or second. It depends. Mm-hmm. Flirt, set the mood, foreplay. When the foreplay is good, then take your time when you first get in there. And take your time while you in there. And find her spot while you in there. And when you find her spot when you in there, you don't just go in there pounding. Go in there searching. You go in there searching, you're going to find what makes her go, oh, do that. Well, do that again. Keep doing it. The more you concentrate on doing that, the less you're going to wind up exploding all over the place. And then you're going to make her orgasm. Bada boom, bada bing. That's it. It's not a big deal. You can do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, but L.A.R, Professor L.A.R, you got to have brothers who are willing to not only be open for what you just said, but actually get through the lesson plans.
Yeah, that's why I didn't make a deeper lesson plan. It ain't you know, this is where we at in life. Like I'm trying to figure this out at the end of it, because part of what I mean by why the gender war keeps starting over and over again is because people keep fucking up and starting from scratch. I don't understand how you keep fucking up and starting from square one. Okay, you fuck up, you can start from square three at least, but one. Because once you start from square one again, you're gonna blame it on the other person, but you're not gonna blame yourself.
But that takes a level of humility and acceptance of what you don't know. And going back to what some brothers said earlier, bruh, ego for the black man side, I've seen a lot more ego being the issue of us moving forward as a brotherhood than anything else.
But see, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
I'm gonna let you go after this. I'm gonna let you go.
One of the biggest parts of the ego is the other people that I'm talking about. See, the people that stroke your ego are the people that's fucking you up the most.
Good point. Yeah.
Pro, your device ain't connected. It is not connected either. Come, just bounce out and bounce back in. Like this is like when people talk about, like I even on the girl side, when women say a woman is a pick me, I think the woman who says that is retarded. So you mean to say that people like that girl? So that's a bad thing. Interesting. So she should be more like you than a person that nobody likes. It's stupid.
But it also exposes who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let me go to Unc real quick.
Yes,
Like,
sir. Yes, sir.
my
Appreciate
bad.
you.
Appreciate you too, Reese. Oh man, my bad.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
nephew, have you been seeing the gems I've been dropping in the chat, bro?
I've been going fast and furious, so I'm halfway in, but I'm
Okay,
on the ego
okay,
rooms to move.
I'm gonna make this simple. When your aura resonates the frequency of truth, women will be eager to be blessed by the presence of your essence.
You know,
Because the thing is, if you want to be in the situation of not tricking, you're gonna have to master the art of seduction, the toolbox, the body game, the charisma, and masculinity. Shout out to Ron Wills. Now, the three people that subscribe to a Patreon are the big three of the select manosphere. Ron Wills, Arthur Roger Curry, and Cousin T-Talk Alpha Wingman. Ron Wills deals with the body game. Alan
is
Roger
he,
Curry deals with the charisma, the verbal mouthpiece. And Cousin T-Talk deals with the non-verbal seduction through masculinity, the mastery of masculine mastery, masculine energy. And ever since I followed their content, I haven't had trouble dealing with or attracting to women. But ever
that's
since I was young, I never had to pay for pussy because I knew how to deal with the toolbox, get the right tool for the right job.
that's part of what I'm tripping sometimes about. People don't realize you don't have to pay for sex. All you got to do is create it. Like if even when it comes to interacting with women, do something that you like. If you do something that you like, she'll enjoy it because you enjoy it.
Hey,
It ain't
check
that,
this out.
it
Check
ain't
this
that
out,
difficult.
nephew. Yeah, check this out, nephew. I'm here in Duncanville, Texas, and there's like a gym, L.A. Fitness, right down from my sister's house. So I approached some young women. One, Claire, that was 19. Uh, Julie, that was 21, and this fine-looking, light-skinned, red-bone named Roxana, that was 20. And Roxana was up there like dealing with the chest press machine, right? And as I was walking past her, she gave me that look, the shadow stare, showing the shin that she wanted me to holler at her, right? And I said, hey, what's your name? He said, my name is Roxanne. Roxanne. I said, and then I told her my name is Bailey, Edward Bailey. And I asked her this: how old do you think I am? Well, sir, I think you're like in your late late 30s, early 40s. I said, well, actually, I'm 51. And I told her, listen, I said, the reason why I approached you is because I want to have a casual, non-monogamous sexual relationship with you. I'm not interested in being your husband, your boyfriend, or your fiance. What say you? And Roxanne said, well, give me time to think about it when I come back to the gym in about another 2 days. Now you see how I did that, nephew?
It,
I
but
checked
people scared to do that.
I checked out the body language and the aura before I approached it.
Right, but people scared to do that. This is what
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like people don't, you ain't got to finesse somebody to do that. You
You
gave her
don't.
the opportunity to think about it. She get back to you. It's gonna be a yes or
Mhm.
no.
Right. And if it's a no, I keep on moving to the next one because, like my uncle Lester told me, when you have a flat tire, you get a spare.
I
But
got
you
you,
got too many
Prometheus.
people that argue, too many people up there complaining about about the flat tire instead of having enough gumption, enough common sense to get the spare tire so they can keep on driving down the road again to the destination.
This is getting ridiculous. Like for me, like even like let me flip this around too. Like with
Go
the
ahead.
ladies, it's a reason why too many of these women online lack femininity because
Lack of premium vitamin D.
no, it ain't just that. It's just it's that you want to be all hard, but you like this idea that you're gonna be a hard woman and you're gonna get an alpha male. That is not gonna
Hey,
work.
the Amazon Women in the Shadow Men by Ron Wills talks about that.
Yeah, like
The paid video on Vimeo. Yeah.
yeah, like you that's not gonna work. Guys don't
You
a
know,
guy who's an alpha man do not want to deal with you and with a feisty personality every day. You
right.
gonna make him want to fight. Like
Because the only men that these masculine women can get is feminine active men, shadow men,
you know,
which we call which we would call beta cucks.
but this is and that becomes a problem because this is part of the issue that people are having. You're not
Mhm.
ready for the person that you want of the opposite sex. You getting who you attract, and then you mad at the whole group because you haven't made changes internally to get what you want.
I mean, like I said, nephew, the vibration of your flow determines the quality of your glow. In other words,
I,
if you want a certain reality, you got to develop a frequency that matches that reality.
problematic, man. Problematic. But let me get. I'm damn. It's boy. I swear, Tony, man. Thanks, fam.
Oh, what's up with Tony, man?
No, he sent me a super chat. I gotta thank him. You
Oh, that's
know,
all good. $49.99.
appreciate it, Tony. Okay, James. I'm gonna get James popped off and pop back. I'm gonna get the James on. I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be back.
Hey, let me say one last thing, nephew.
You got it. Got it. You got it.
It's about attaining sovereignty. You know, the self knowledge, self accountability, and self mastery. Now, the street term for a sovereign back in the day was known as the Mac, because the players are focused on the pussy, the pimps are focused on the money, but the Mac is focused on the authenticity, the power, and the sovereignty. Because the byproduct of attaining your sovereignty, your authenticity, and your power is the money and the sex, the paper and the pussy.
We are Mac deficient right now, fam.
And that's why me and you need to have a panel called Chill Pill and Mac Talk.
We gonna get it popping. We gonna get it popping because I was supposed to get with you earlier today, but I ain't get home like I said till about 7, 8 o'clock.
I heard that.
So I just decided to fire this thing up and go at it. But
But hey, fam, I'm in Duncanville, Texas, as we speak. I'm gonna be in Duncanville, Texas for a while. So if you want to holler at me in person, let's set that up. And we can do something behind the scenes.
I'm actually be. I'm actually no. I'm actually. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna be there, but my family is my mother and stepfather actually moving to Dallas. So
Oh, okay.
it's going. So I'm gonna have to be up there. So I'm guessing sometime after January because because
Okay,
they
that's
about to sell
cool.
a house. So I'll probably get there like February, March. So I'll let you know when I'm on my way.
You
Because I
still
was
got my
supposed to
contact info
go.
offline, right? Uh, you still got my contact info offline, right?
Yeah, I believe so. If I don't, I should
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
I
All
should
right.
have.
You know my cell and my Skype, right?
Let me hold up. Oh shit! Boy, I almost hit the wrong thing. I had two phones, so let me make sure it's on. It's in this one.
I got you.
Let me make sure it's in this one. Da-da-da-da-da. No, no, no.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a,
yeah,
I'm
nephew, man. The thirst traps are everywhere.
I'm gonna
They are
get it.
everywhere.
I'm gonna email it to me again. I'm gonna put it in this one because it's got to be in
Okay,
my
I
other
got
one.
you. All right, I'll do that. Definitely.
Good. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, no problem.
All right. Sam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, God. I'm here.
I'm just was talking about the guys not being max, right? And uh I didn't I sometimes people say things and it make me think about something else. And the women used to talk about the guys not building, right? And some of the guys' response was, why would I build for somebody like you? Or you ain't gonna build for certain types of people. And I just thought about it as who are we gonna build for?
Hmm. Oof. I mean, I think this is where I think this is where you have like a social divide. Um, because I think now with these conversations, you're starting to see more of a social divide within our community. Um, where and and I don't want to focus too much on the negative, and I don't think it is negative, but the I think there is a shift that's going on now where brothers and sisters are realizing that there has to be significant change. I mean, a perfect example I would think of is that situation with the restaurant owner in Dallas, right?
Hmm.
um, you saw what was proposed to the world was that little small clip of him showing who he is, a man, right? And so many people chastise him, but then when all the information was revealed to the world, they realized, nah, you can't chastise that man when he, you know what I'm saying? He came at you with respect, and you continue disrespected him. So I think overall, um, it's going to be a divide in the social class. You're going to have those who are going to hold on to that nonsense, and then there are those who are going to keep it moving, man. Because LAR individuals like yourself and others, and the more men and women that chime in, that's really, really have real intellectual conversations. They start to realize, man, you got to walk away from the herd, and
this is
that's what I see is happening.
this is why like I see more positive than negative in situations, but I just try to be more of a realist about certain things.
Yeah.
Um, this is why one of the things I do like about even when I saw Jessica X have like 1,000 people in her chat today,
Mm-hmm.
I know that even the women have not been getting good advice from the women to the point that they're willing to go into the male spaces,
Yep.
or they're willing to be around women who are more affiliated with the male spaces.
Yep.
Because when the women say stuff like a person's male or male identified, it's like that means at least they know how men think.
Yeah. They
That's
want
what
the
they
drop.
think. And unfortunately, uh, I'm starting to and I said this on Concrete Rose and Sister Georgia show. Ladies gonna have to weed out the women who actually like women.
Yeah. Valid point, brother.
Because some of this advice some of this hatred they're getting is from women who actually like women. So that's not a good point to take. And some of these and for the men, I'm not gonna say these guys don't like women. You're gonna have to stop taking advice from men who don't want to actually be in a functional relationship with a woman.
Yeah.
You know,
Eh,
and you go ahead, fam.
No, I was gonna say like one of the things about these spaces that I find quite interesting, right, is that like Jessica X, I just hopped onto her channel. Beautiful sister. And it amazes me that a woman that is basically in another part of the world can actually take the time to really just listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and then what is shocking is that you have other women in our country who still chastise her. So that shows you the dysfunction, right? And the whole hypocrisy thing, because you have a sister from another part of the world who's like, I'm trying to learn. But then you have sisters here like, you don't need to learn nothing. You just need to pay attention to us. We know better. You know what I'm saying? But the evidence is quite clear that you don't know better.
There's one thing that and low key was one of the issues that with the women that they don't see yet. It's not that the men are bashing women. It's that
Yeah.
it's so far gone that women are making depictions about women that's showing you why they're by themselves.
Yes.
And women ain't catching on to it yet.
No, it's true. It's like a screenplay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've gone so, like you said, they've gone. It's so far gone. You really like, yo, is this fiction or nonfiction? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what
It's
world they live in?
it's because when ladies talk about entertainment and social media, and I clown with some of my coworkers and some of the younger women that I work with, and every time they listen to R&B, I just laugh because I'm like, if you listen to a female singer, I know she gonna say he cheated, he ain't shit, he did, I was always deaf. It's like it's the same song over and over and over
Yeah,
again. Y'all, and I'm talking about new artists.
yeah,
And it's funny to me because I'm thinking to myself, this is the you never wrote a song about a person that you should have been with. You only write a song about a person you shouldn't have been with.
and the sad part about this, brother, that shit been going on for a long
Long
time.
time. I know.
Like, the social programming is crazy. You can see why brothers and like young brothers go through like the confusion, right? And it's not their fault because they're not socially programmed as women are. You see what I'm saying? There are other ways brothers get socially programmed, right? But when you hear, it's like they say, you hear the same thing over and
Look,
over, and
hold up.
then,
I got something for you. So, okay, it was a lot. It was like shit, man. I can't even count right now. 4 or 5 people this year that died, right? In my
yep,
family. And one of them I couldn't talk to. All
mm,
right. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna say why. Like he wasn't my grandfather in blood, but in the time he spent in my life, he was my grandfather.
gotcha,
But he crossed my grandmother,
mm,
so I had to stop talking to him.
gotcha,
Well, my grandmother died. So my grandmother died over 10 years ago.
mm-hmm,
So I couldn't talk to him no more. Not because of necessarily her, but just the principle of you shouldn't have did that. I can't
yeah,
talk to you because you shouldn't have did that. He wound up having cancer,
wow,
and I talked to him. Um, a few months before he passed,
Yeah.
maybe 6 months before he died, and he was still saying the same stuff and on the same stuff that crossed my grandmother even then.
Wow.
And I was like, even though you sick, I still can't talk to you. I love
Yeah.
you, but I can't because you still here with this same mindset
Yeah.
that caused this same situation. Why I can't rock with you right now?
Mm-hmm.
And why I say that to say, some of the brothers don't realize that certain things that you say are normal and you pass down to other people, you wouldn't rock with it if it affects your household.
Yeah. I mean, LAR, how many times you've heard women and men just generalize a whole group and they just base off their own one personal experience, or I should say more of another person's experience.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know, niggas ain't shit. Oh, bitches ain't. And I'm like, man, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of women in this world. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of men.
Fam, if I really started asking the real questions, I'll make people sick. Because
Oh,
because
yeah, I know you
the
would.
truth is, all I gotta say is, how many good dates have you had?
Facts.
And I guarantee you, they far outnumber the bad ones. And
Yeah.
that goes for men and women. The good ones outweigh the bad ones. All I gotta ask is, do you have a real reason for some of the breakups you had with people? Most people can no. I got tired of the sex. I thought I could do better. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I just wanted to be back in the streets because I didn't already been with that person. I didn't I felt like I couldn't get nothing else out of them.
I mean, this goes back to the conversation I think you had with Reese. The whole thing, like, it's how can I say? It's like a triangle offense, right? You got the brothers who want to sling all the chicks, right? Then you got the chicks like, I want a nigga with a big dick. And then in return, they all still end up in the same situation. Nothing achieved, nothing gained.
You know what? Y'all, I'm gonna shut it down in a few minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it straight up. Listen, what's going on is a bunch of you men and women out here really think y'all players like that, and you not.
Yeah.
And what happens is you the dude that can smash all the women until somebody fuck your girl, and then you cry like a bitch about
Or you catch something, or you get the wrong bitch pregnant.
Exactly. And you ladies, y'all the same way. You're gonna level up, you're gonna come up, you're gonna use this, and then you wind up being a cum dumpster, and you mad because it didn't end the way you thought, or you wind up being somebody baby mama or a side chick. So now
Uh,
it's everybody else's fault. No, it's not, because you went in there with bad intentions in the first place.
you know
You
what's
got what
crazy
you
too?
got. My
You know,
bad.
LAR, it's like everybody thinks they got time on their hands. Everybody thinks they got time. And truth be told, time don't wait for nobody, man. It'll present something to you. And if it's great, some of us don't know how to secure it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a contract. You don't know how to secure the deal, get the best out of the deal. And it's like, nah. You know what I mean? Perfect example. And I'm glad you brought this. It reminds me of Scottie Pittman. When he took that short deal, when he should have took the, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah,
Mhm.
fuck that, I'm worth more. And he end up suffering because of that.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, man. Like when it comes down to it, as you said before, everybody thinks they're the master of their own game, right? They understand, oh, I got somebody lined up, oh, he ain't this, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look at it, the grass ain't green. That's just it's dirt. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that we think is there is never really there. It's never really there. And I got one last comment for brother Android. Um, homie, all I can say to you is, man, you were young. You on a platform where brothers really care about you. As LAR says, do things that you enjoy. Um, invest in yourself. Read, write. Um, one of the things I would say is if you get, wherever you are, get a real estate license. Go out there, put yourself out there. Be home inspector. Things that don't cost a lot. If you get that, if that stimulus money come, and just put yourself out there, man. Use your intellectual mindset to grow your brand as a man. Uh, because I could tell you, man, you know, from trials and tribulations with women and all the things that, as LAR said, you talking about, I'm skinny and
No,
trust me,
you know
you'll
what?
feel it.
I got you. I got him, fam. Let
Mm,
me say because I want to tell him, and just in case another brother would ever feel like him. I used to in college. I was the chick whisperer.
mm,
So part of being a chick whisperer was this: I could tell you who she was gonna be 5 years from now.
yeah,
This is what you need to know, also, fam. The chick that you looking for, you gotta see her before she becomes the chick that you looking for.
mm,
See, a lot of times we're looking for we want a person who fits a certain bill, but we can't see the person before they fit that.
yeah,
It's a young lady that she's a real dope person. She just got engaged, her and her boyfriend. And I met her
mm,
when she was in her early 20s in college. I thought she was older. And one day she talked to me. She says she wanted to she wanted to gain weight to get thick, like her mother. And her mother
mm,
got body. I was
mm,
like, listen. At the time, she's like 24 or something like that. I was like, listen, don't do that. No, you gonna get that the same body your mama got, you gonna have it. But keep your relationship, get married, you gonna have kids, your body gonna grow a little bit, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna get big and you're gonna get that same body. Don't rush to get that body today because 10 years from now, it's
it'll be
gonna,
gone. It's
yeah.
gone.
And so she got what I was saying because I started pointing out, people around us. What I'm telling you, what I'm saying to you, especially you, Android, you gonna meet a woman and she's gonna be the woman that you're looking for 5 years later. So, because the men and the women do the same bullshit. We try to meet our dream person when they're at the peak of being their dream person.
Yeah.
Or we meet our dream person that fell off, and that now we got a falling off dream person.
A leftover,
Right.
a 12 men on the bench.
So if you want to find that person, you find them. You find them when they like, oh, okay, you can always get better. The women do the same thing, and sometimes people think I'm talking. That's potential. It's not potential.
Facts.
What it is see, potential is somebody that you look at and you wish them to be something else.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is you get to know a person and you realize this person can't be stagnant. They have to evolve.
Yeah.
When you meet a person that has to evolve, they're only going to get better. And this is where people mess up. You're trying to meet somebody who peak instead of meeting somebody who's inquisitive.
Yeah. Always evolving.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna shut it down here. I'm gonna shut it down, fam, because it's past my curfew. I've been tripping this
Nah,
week.
you ain't tripping, brother. You keeping it 100 on the platform. That's what counts. Brothers need that right now. Everybody need it.
Because people think that 2021 gonna get better. It ain't, motherfucker.
No, it ain't, bro. Fam, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. I don't. I, I personally believe whatever whatever nonsense people got themselves involved in 2020, it's gonna spill over to 2021, and it might be the nail in the coffin for a lot of motherfuckers.
It is. It is. Because all you stupid people who was running around just wanting to kick it, all of 2020, that was all you was thinking about was going out and kicking it. Bitch, you finna be homeless.
Yeah. All I'm too good. I don't need nobody. Like as we said earlier, LAR, COVID has exposed a lot of people indiscretionally.
Y'all finna people don't really like I'm a though I don't say it, I'm really like a boots on the ground person, but I
Hmm.
kind of I stay to myself like for the most part. But
Gotcha.
but my friends, I kick it. I kick it when I feel like it.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing out in these streets is a bunch of people. You know what? Let me say this so y'all understand what I'm saying. If y'all want to live a decent life, I'm a single man, though I'm in a relationship. I'm single. I live in the suburbs. Let me explain to you, there are people in the suburbs, right,
Hmm.
who are losing their houses because they single. They can't keep
Wow.
it up. And let me explain to you, there are people who are moving to the suburbs because people can't pay for these houses no more immediately, and they're coupled up.
Wow.
And in all of these apartment complexes that's going up, it's a bunch of single people. And if it ain't single people, it's a couple who fell on hard times and lost their house, and now they living in an apartment.
Mm.
So please understand, even why I tied this on to the gender war is because you motherfuckers gonna be fighting with the bank.
Yeah. The real devil. That's the he don't got no problem putting you on the street. No food, no water.
And then there's gonna be somebody, and then that same gender you hate, you gonna want them to help your punk ass.
And to add on to that, what makes it even worse, you got people who again who probably caught COVID, you know what I'm saying? Had nobody
Yeah,
struggling. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And next you know, boom, you got the domino. I lost my job. But like you said in 2019, oh, you ain't nothing. You ain't shit. She ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they looking in the mirror like, what did I just do?
Listen, you know what? I'm gonna extend this by saying it's a young lady I know, beautiful woman, but she was married. She had a married woman, got 3 kids. If you see her, she fine. All right.
Mm,
She fine, but she got one of them sleeves. She got a sleeve. I don't like that type of shit, but she's
yeah,
still
same here.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
And my advice to her this whole time, well, and it's still been the same. You need to go back to your husband.
LAR, you know they ain't listen. It's sad what you telling them. You, I'm gonna
See,
call you the Oracle, because our folks don't want to look at this. They don't want to sit in that room with you, God.
no, because like like motherfuckers think I'm sitting out here just like if I could, I could tell a woman and a man, like I was talking to a homeboy of mine, like same day, actually talking to these same 2 people the same day. I keep telling her, go back to your husband because ain't shit out in these streets. And she like, I said, listen, you gonna fuck around, you realizing ain't shit out here. And my homeboy, he comes through, he's like, man, I meet this chick, I like her, but she a firecracker. I'm so tired of that shit. And I was like, look, fam, what you got to do, if you want a type of woman that bring you peace, you got to create. Everything in your life is about peace. When it changes you on the inside out, it's going to them women gonna come to you after that.
Yeah,
You know. And he was like, "You like serious?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, man, because I was an asshole back in the day, and I wound up with asshole chicks."
yeah.
You know, and it's like people not really digging it. Like, yeah,
No, they,
people.
they ain't LAR. No.
This gender war shit they don't think it, fam. They don't really think it's really. I see bitter people every fucking day, and the reason that they're bitter is because they were assholes,
Yeah,
and now it's gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse because it's gonna be a bunch of assholes on the street, and they can only get with other assholes.
No, you ain't lying, bro. And the way this country is moving, you gonna wish you rode it with, you know what I'm saying? Someone that was rocking with you since day one. Because COVID is really creating chaos. And it's and the sad part about it is no one saw this coming. But like you
Yes,
said,
no, that's not true. BGS saw this coming years ago.
mm,
BGS talked about this years ago, and BGS always right. You know, BGS is like a clock. He always right every minute.
yeah,
You wrong if you got the time wrong.
yeah, you right. You ain't lying. Cause like you said, motherfuckers was playing around. Well, I got time. I'm looking. I don't need him. I'm getting this money. And like you said, people losing their cribs left and right. I'm on the East Coast, and man, the amount of people stressed out right now,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
stressed, and ain't
yeah.
nothing you can do about it. But the sad part is, it's like my uncle always told me this back in the day. He said God will always warn you before he actually slaps you. And a lot of people about to get slapped in 2021.
No, these niggas finna get they finna get Mike. They finna get a Mike Tyson hook from '88. That's what they finna get. But shit, man, let me get out of here, fam. I'm gonna get out of here, man.
All right, guys, pleasure talking to you as always, man.
Pleasure y'all came. Oh, I'm out, fam. So I'm gonna just tell you I'm out, fam. So
All right, nephew, you take it easy now.
you too, y'all take care. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it. Oh man, it was great having y'all, fam. I don't be up late like this, but